Now, why does it happen? Why do we want to retaliate? Why do we want to give back, pay back to them in their own coin? What happens that whenever somebody says or does something which makes us angry, this part of the brain, which you see here in the center, the basal part of the brain, which is called the amygdala. Amygdala is the seat for emotions, the generation of emotions. And the most important role of amygdala in our life is to survive. It helps us survive. So amygdala's main role is that it helps human beings survive, and it has been there right from the beginning of evolution. It is also called maybe part of the limbic brain or reptilian brain, because we are supposed to have been reptiles at some point in time. So amygdala, whereas amygdala is responsible for the generation of emotions, the yellow part that you see here, the prefrontal cortex of the human brain, that is responsible for logical thinking. Now, what happens that when we become afraid, or when we become angry, or when we become anxious, amygdala sees this as a threat situation. Amygdala starts telling the entire brain that this is a threat situation and you must do something for survival. And the entire energy of the brain starts becoming focused on survival. And when we are highly emotional, this situation is called amygdala hijack, meaning the power of the entire brain has been hijacked by the amygdala, and we are no longer able to think logically and rationally. Do you find value in this content? Then please subscribe to the channel so you will not miss any new valuable content. Please also hit the like button and share the content with friends. This small action of yours will be a big motivation for me. This is what happens when amygdala takes over. When amygdala hijack happens, adrenaline and cortisol are released in the body, which are stress hormones. And as supposing you are getting stressed and angry, and adrenaline and cortisol is being released in your body, what will happen is that the other person would also start feeling the same reactions. Adrenaline and cortisol will come in their body also. What we need to be able to do is understand, be aware what is happening inside us, and control the reaction that we are showing to others. So can you see this? What happens? Look at the image, the two cats fighting. What happens that when one cat starts getting angry, aggressive, starts growling, the other cat also starts growling and starts showing its teeth and its nails. So we do not have big teeth and big nails, but nevertheless, we can also start looking very aggressive. And when we start getting aggressive, the other person starts getting more and more aggressive. And this is how the downward spiral starts. To calm down the adrenaline and the cortisol, what is it that we can do? What are the techniques that we can employ to calm? Would you like to know that? Yes? Okay. So here are three simple techniques which you can use in a difficult situation to have a better relationship, whatever the relationship may be, personal or professional, or even a short term relationship, buying something, you are on the road, wherever, whatever. What you need to do, number one, take time. Don't react immediately. There is a power in pause. So don't say whatever is coming to your mind. To take time, what can you do? Tell me in the chat box. Supposing in the meeting, your boss is saying certain things that you haven't been able to achieve this target. You have done a lot. You have achieved a lot. A small bit of your target has not been achieved, and the boss is badgering you for that. What will you do? Our natural tendency, because we are seeing this as a threat situation, our natural tendency becomes to defend ourselves. So we don't want you to be defending yourself, because when you defend, the other person attacks more. What you need to do is take time and then give a reasoned response using your logic and rational as well. So, wait a minute. There are very simple things that you can do even in a meeting. Number one, drink water. Take time. So, to take time, you can drink water, have a few sips of water. Water hydrates the body. Water hydrates the body. And when it hydrates the body, there is more oxygen flow in the blood. And therefore, you can think better and more clearly. The other thing that you can do, breathe deeply. Take 3 or 4 breaths before responding. If you take time to respond, don't think that it is a sign of weakness. Taking a bit of time, in fact, is a sign of a strength, that you can pause and think and then give a reasoned response. So, one is stop, drink water, take deep breaths. You can, if somebody has written count 1 to 10. Yes, that is good. Even better is if you count from 10 to 1, because when you do reverse counting, you are deliberately engaging your prefrontal cortex in the process. And then the prefrontal cortex becomes active. So instead of counting 1 to 10, count 10 to 1. If you're at home and you are getting angry, or if you're standing up, sit down. And if you're at home, you're still angry while sitting down, lie down. Lie down, and that will help you calm your anger even better. If you're at office, maybe you do not have the opportunity to lie down, but if you're standing up, you can sit down, drink water, breathe deeply. And in the meanwhile, your brain, which is an amazing machine, will find the right way and the right reason in which to highlight what you want to highlight and what you want to say in the way that you want to say. So, for how many of you this technique is a powerful one, please go ahead and write take time in the comments. Please go ahead and write take time in the comments or in the chat. Wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. Second technique, instead of saying you sentences, use I sentences. For example, you want to tell, boss, you are not fair. You are giving too much work only to me. What happens when you point the finger like this? What happens when you point the finger like this? Yeah. What happens? Yeah, come on and tell me. What happens when you point a finger like this? Yeah, 3 point fingers are pointed towards us. All that? Yes, true. Um, what happens is that when you point the finger, when you put the blame on the other person, or on the child or on the spouse, you keep watching TV all the time. You keep watching TV all the time. What happens is the other person starts feeling blamed. The other person starts feeling threatened. And what happens? What hormones are released in their body? Adrenaline, cortisol, and then they will react aggressively too. We do not want that to happen. We want to handle this situation emotionally, intelligently, with emotional intelligence. So, you can say the same thing. Supposing you want to tell your child that the amount of TV that they are watching is too much, you can say that I feel angry when you watch more than 1 hour of TV, because I feel that you are not giving importance to your work. Now, you have started with I start feeling angry, you are saying. What you are doing here, you are taking the responsibility for your feeling. And then you are giving the data. When you watch TV for more than 1 hour or 2 hour, whatever the time that you've set for your child for screen time or watching TV, and then you say because. So the number one thing that you do is you share your feeling, how you are feeling. This is I'm coming to the burger technique. This is you're sharing the how you are feeling, and then you are telling them why you are doing this. So the second technique is that you use I sentences instead of you sentences. Whenever you say, you are doing this, you are giving me too much responsibility, you are not being fair, you are not giving me credit, the other person starts feeling threatened. And then cortisol and adrenaline starts getting released in them and they react aggressively. So you can pass on the same message using I sentence. You can say that, boss, I am feeling overwhelmed because I already have these projects and this project is coming new to me. Boss, I am feeling overwhelmed because I already have this much on my plate and this is new. And you are giving me this. Boss, I am feeling that I am being neglected because I have achieved this much, I have given this result, but I am not getting the credit for it. See, you are taking the responsibility. When you are saying, boss, you are not being fair, the other person feels threatened. The other person feels that they are being blamed. When you say I, the other person does not feel blamed. You are taking your own responsibility, so they are more ready to listen to you and more ready to respond to what you are saying in a positive manner. So for how many of you this is a positive technique, please write I in the chat box or the comments. Please go ahead and write I in the comments. Wonderful. So I have shared with you two techniques. Number one, take time. Number two, use I sentences. This is a very, very, very powerful technique which you can use in communication. Take the responsibility of your feelings. Share your feelings. Don't judge or blame the other person. And the third technique is the burger technique. And what do I mean by the burger technique? Burger technique is whatever you are feeling, you want to convey something, you can convey in this way. The first thing to share is your feeling. What are you feeling? So, supposing you want to tell your child who has been watching a lot of television, you are getting angry, you need to express your anger. You don't need to keep your anger within you. You need to express it, but in a way that you get a constructive result. So the first thing you will say is that, son or child, I am feeling angry. When you are watching television for more than this hour, or you're watching television at a time which is not your telly time,